Tonight on the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror, the rock group The Clowns love to put on a killer show. However, somebody is taking the killer way too seriously. Tonight's movie, Terror on Tour. Everybody, and welcome to another episode of the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror! Unchained from the Content Nazis! Episode number 27. Yes, making our way. I only have to live through 4 more episodes after tonight. So, anyways, coming off of last night's disgustingly sleazy fish sex thingamabob, whatever, the creatures from the abyss, I moved on back into the 80s, because that was like a 90s movie anyways, back into the 80s, a movie from the 1980, and a movie that I've heard about like when I was way young, and I decided, hey, now's a good opportunity to watch it, and that movie is Terror on Tour. Yeah, so what is Terror on Tour about? Well, it's about a band that seems to be like a Kiss clone / Alice Cooper clone. I mean, they're called the Clowns. They dress up in clown makeup, but they also do like human sacrifices on stage, fake ones anyways. Well, apparently someone has taken things a bit too far because they are starting to stab some of the local ladies, starting with a drug dealer and then working their way to a bunch of women of the night, if you know what I mean. And so, of course, the police are upset by this situation and suspect one of the band members because apparently the murderer is dressing up like one of the members of the band, dressing up like a clown. Yeah, I mean, they're not like Bozo Clown. They look more like Kiss, honestly, with the white and the black eyes and stuff like that. Anyways, so really what we have here is a movie about a guy who's dressing up like a band member and killing people. Whether or not they're a band member or not is yet to be seen, but will the police be able to stop the bloodlust before all the pretty ladies are no more? So let's get to those scores, shall we? Violence and gore, I'm giving it a 2 out of 5. There's a lot of stabby-stabby, but not too much blood. Not a lot of like graphic stuff, though there is a nice chest knife going on there. I think that was nicely done, but, nothing too horrific. 2 out of 5. Shock value, I'm giving it a 0.5 out of 5. Nothing too scary. There are a couple tense moments, especially toward the end when a police informant hooker is being stalked by the killer, and maybe 1 or 2 jump scares, but nothing big, so 0.5 out of 5. Plot, I am going to give it a 2 out of 5 because it's pretty straightforward. However, the plot is kind of thin when it comes to certain aspects. Like, for instance, how did the police know that the person dresses up in the outfit since there were no living witnesses? So that's kind of weird how, they just figured that out. Also, the motivation for the killer and the reveal is kind of dumb. Not well set up. I mean, there's a very, very thin setup for this, yet it's contradicted by actual conversations between the killer and other characters, because the motivation is X, but it seems like the killer in the movie, when they're talking, you don't know they're the killer, has an argument that is counter to X. And I don't know if that was done purposefully to throw us off, but it seemed like in character, but that if they wanted, I don't want to spoil it, so this is a little convoluted here, but if their goal it was X, then that conversation should have went completely different, because it would have actually helped them achieve the goal that the killer ultimately wanted to achieve without killing a lot of people. But maybe they wanted to kill a lot of people. I don't know. Anyways, other situations like that is in this movie, and therefore, yeah, it's a little bit weird. They try to do the whole red herring thing, and they were pushing one person way too hard, which is what you shouldn't do, because if you push way too hard, then you're telling the audience that this person is definitely not the killer. And so that's, a little bit of a dinging on that. So 2 out of 5. Nudity, I am giving it a 3 out of 5. Look, it's like every victim pretty much in this movie, except maybe 2 or 3, basically gets naked and gets murdered, because, it's like, hey, take off your clothes before I stab you, okay? I'm like, okay. Anyways, but I'm not complaining, because variety is the spice of life, and the ladies are quite nice. So anyways, 3 out of 5. My enjoyment factor, unfortunately, is only a 2.5 out of 5. Look, I'm a gore hound. I like a lot of gore. The thinness of the plot and the kind of the stupidity of the killer and its motivation really, turned me off a bit. It was kind of mundane in certain spots, and honestly, when I strip it away, it feels like just kind of your average slasher. Nothing's really kind of set it apart, even though, it was like sort of the rock and roll thing, and dresses up like the band members, but I mean, like, it didn't really hit the mystery part. It didn't really hit much attention. So just average. I mean, it gets the job done. It's a horror movie, mildly entertaining, 2.5 out of 5. My overall impression, of course, is also 2.5 out of 5. It just seemed very plain, and unfortunately, it's not really a bunch of memorable moments, and you got no real signature memorable kills in this movie, and you've got a villain that's just kind of dumb, and doesn't make complete sense given their actions within the movie before the big reveal. So anyways, 2.5 out of 5. That averages out to 2.1 out of 5. And there you have it. Terror on Tour. I don't know why they call it on tour. It's this group just plays at this one venue for a couple nights. They don't actually go on tour, so it's not. I mean, I guess they wanted to use a little bit of the alliteration there, but it's not so much on tour. And unlike what movie was that? Driller Killer, where they spent a lot of time with the band and music. They definitely kept that to a minimum, which was great, because I didn't want to watch an hour-long music video. I wanted to watch a horror movie, and we got a horror movie, even though it was not really spectacular, but definitely not bad. I mean, you know what? I completely forgot the acting portion. 2.5 out of 5 for the acting. Competent actors. I mean, sure, they weren't like spectacular, but at least it wasn't horrific. So finally, we got some competent acting going on there. So that is it for tonight. Terror on Tour. Tell me, what do you think about it? Did you like that movie? Have you seen it? It might be a little bit more obscure. I'm trying to hit some of these ones that are kind of forgotten, and I guess maybe there's a reason why this one's sort of forgotten. But anyways, I mean, it's a decent movie, and if you're looking for a slasher and don't want things to be too bloody, there you go. And it's got tits. So hey, there you bonus. So leave a comment in the comment section. What did you think? Did you like Terror on Tour? Or maybe you might want to think about picking it up or watching it somewhere, Go right ahead. Anyways, that is it for episode 27. Finished. 4 more to go. I am so tired. Last night was horrible. I've got zero sleep. It's probably shows in these videos that I'm just kind of stammering more and not as high energy as I usually am. So I'm sorry about that. But I mean, I will see if I can muster the energy for these last 4. Unfortunately, I might have to pick up a friend from the airport late Monday night, and so who knows, Tuesday and Wednesday might be really bad for me. But anyways, I'm gonna end it right now, so I will see you next time on the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror, and until then, you guys stay scary, internet, and remember, don't have sex with people dressed in clown makeup. I mean, it could be your fetish, but I can't imagine how that will ever go well. I don't know. Anyways, I will see you later. Ah.